Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Saturday school.
Yeah, Saturday school is Friday today because tomorrow is going to be a very busy day. So today we're going to learn about something very interesting. You see it all the time, sometimes in the house, sometimes outside, and it's called ants. And guess what? One of the wisest kings in the Bible, King Solomon, he was like, go and study the ant, right? The ant is a very unique, creature. It's a very unique insect that has a lot of admirable qualities that we all need to, learn from and try and implement in our own lives. So, let's go, guys. Right. So today's scripture reading is going to be the book of Proverbs, chapter 6, verses 6 to 11. You lazy fool, look at an ant, watch it closely, let it teach you a thing or two. Nobody has to tell it what to do. All summer it stores up food. At harvest it stockpiles provisions. So how long are you going to laze around doing nothing? How long before you get out of bed? A nap here, a nap there, a day off here, a day off there. Sit back, take it easy. Do you know what comes next? Just this. You can look forward to a dirt poor life. Poverty, your permanent house guest. So before I go on to the next slide, do you understand what's just gone on in that verse?
Yes.
Okay. So basically, we will watch a video. But basically what it's telling us is not to be lazy. That's what it is in a nutshell. And it's saying, exactly, not just playing around all the time. There's a time for you to play and there's a time where you have to work. But it's saying, don't laze around doing nothing. You have to be doing something, okay?
Only be eating.
Yes, very, very powerful verses, okay? So now we're going to watch a video just to further illustrate that passage. And for those of you watching online, please check the links in the description and you'll be able to watch the same video as well. Can anyone give me a short summary about what we've just watched? Yes, Missy, you go ahead.
You said the first time that King Solomon was telling everyone to go and study the ants, and basically what he meant out was that unlike most humans, the ants are always hard workers, and they always they never give up, and they always go and find different ways to do other things. And basically what King Solomon was trying to say is that the human is always lazy, always wants to take a rest, always wants to do something else other than work, and he told them to go look at the ant so that they would know how to act and how to work.
Very good. Fantastic. Now, who else can summarize? That was very good. Who else can summarize? Makim? Oh, your hand was up. Okay. Olimita, go on then.
Ants are marvelous. What's that thing that we heard in the video?
The proactive, hard-working. Think about it. What do you want to say? So why do they harvest in summer? Why do you think they harvest in summer?
Because I was trying to think of harvest.
They're hard workers.
And they don't have a leader. Each ant just does what it needs to do. So we can't just look at ants and not talk about who made ants, can we? We always have to go back to who made everything. Okay? So who is God? He's the creator of what? Everything, isn't he? He's the creator of us.
He's the creator of Earth.
Yes, he's the creator of the entire world. Everything.
Space.
Yes, space and everything in it.
And the planet, on the planet.
Very good.
Even if there's a moon.
First things first, God made everything, even ants, okay? We know that clearly. And God specifically made ants the way they are for a purpose, okay? And as we've seen in the video, the purpose is very clear. Ants are very diligent. They're very meticulous. They don't need someone waking them up. They don't need anyone reminding them what they need to do.
They do it when they want to do it.
Not when they want to do it, they do it because they have to do it. Not when they want,
No,
they do it because they have to.
I know because God wants them to do it.
Exactly. Summer doesn't last long.
And they can't be lazy.
They can't be. Why can't they be lazy?
Because then they will be hungry in the winter.
Very good. Very good. So it's very important that you do things at the right time. So that way you're not hungry. And in the context of this passage, summer refers to a time when everything is easy, everything is working well. Winter refers to a time whereby it might be difficult. In winter in the UK, it's cold, it's dark, the day is shorter. You don't get as much done, and sometimes you don't feel as energetic, you don't feel as excited to wake up in the cold and in the dark, you know? But the ants, for them, they're like, we know winter's going to be hard, we know it's going to be cold, we know it's going to be dark, we know the days are going to be shorter. So summer, we have longer days, summer it's warm, summer everyone's happy, it's positive. Let's do what we can do now. Let's work really, really hard. Let's work all the hours that we can now. Let's build our homes. Let's gather our food. Let's store everything that we need so that in winter we put our feet up. So that in winter we're not having to work as hard. So basically that illustration also tells us that there's a time for everything. So when mummy and daddy say it's time to study, study. Okay? When mummy and daddy say it's time to wake up and get ready for school, get ready for school. When it's time to eat, eat. Right? There's a time for everything that you do. Okay? God, in his wisdom, designed ants with amazing abilities. So imagine this. Imagine this. God made ants the way they are. You know, the fact that they're hardworking is God making them that way. And imagine this, if God made ants like that, think about how he's made you. And you're exactly. And you're like God, because remember he said, let us make man in our own image. So God made you to have what? What did God make you to have? Remember those three things? Exactly. So the fact is that you have those abilities as well. But you know what happens with human beings sometimes? Sometimes human beings can be lazy. What does it mean to be lazy?
To not do the things that are right and just go and do off what you want to do.
Very true. So being lazy means you're not very disciplined. Being lazy means that when it's time for you to study, that's the time you want to play. When it's time for you to get up and go to school, that's the time you want to sleep. Right? Being lazy means you're not doing things at the right time. So even though God is giving you the ability to learn, to create, and to love, if you do not work at doing these things, you can become lazy. We'll never get to see your creative side. We'll never get to see how you can love. We'll never get to see how well you learn, okay? And then, guess what? Because God is giving you the ability to learn, right? What does it mean when you have to learn? It means that you can watch. You can study the ant. You can study the birds. You can study the lion that's king of the jungle. You can study all the things that animals do, insects, you know, creation. You can study and you can learn and you can become wise, right? And I like it that, Olumakin, you're very observant. Keep it up. Olumito, you're very good at watching and observing. Keep it up. Imisi, you're very good at watching and learning. Keep it up, right? Learn, observe, okay? Because a lot of times, yes, a lot of times, just by observing, you gain so much information about things. Just by watching, You can see things that other people are missing, because a lot of the times people are in a hurry, they're in a rush. But you, just by observing, you can see and learn so many things. Okay? So it's very important to learn from God's creation. Okay? And that's why we're reviewing the ant today. So, quiz. All right, you ready?
Yes.
Question 1.
You tell me.
True or false? Proverbs 6:6-9 tells us to observe the ways of the ants and be wise. True or false? Question 2. Who created ants and all living things? A, Adam and Eve. B, God. C, our parents. Question 3. Why did God create you? A, to play all day. B, out of love and with a special purpose. C, to watch TV all the time. Question 4. What is a person's purpose according to Proverbs 6:6-9? A, to be lazy and do nothing. B, to learn and grow in wisdom. C, to be a superhero. Question 5. According to the passage, what financial principle can we learn from the ants? A, to spend all our money on toys. B, to work hard and save for the future. C, to buy lots of candy. Okay, guys, swap your things and let's mark.
That was easy.
So now let's get to the answers.
That was great.
So you all got everything. Clap for yourselves. Go on, each have two sweets. Okay, so we've had the treats. So now we're on to why did God create you? The important reason why we've always got to do it this way is you must always understand who God is in everything that you're reading. Every passage that you're reading in the Bible, you've got to have an idea of who God is in that passage. And you've also got to draw out of that passage your reason for being here, why God created you. And you must always know that you were not created by accident. You were created specifically for a purpose that only you can do in this world. Okay? That's how unique you are, right? No one else can. No one else has got your fingerprint, you know? So you are so unique, and you are fearfully, as the Bible says, and wonderfully made. So God, we know, created you out of love, okay? God created you out of love. So God loves you dearly and wants the best for you. God loves you dearly and wants the best for you. Okay? God created you to have a special relationship with Him. How can you have a special relationship with God? How do you think that works?
You.
Yeah, how do you have a special? We talked about it last
Reading
week.
the Bible,
Reading.
praying,
Yeah.
Praying, worshipping.
And what else?
Reading books.
Reading books, but also doing something as well.
Looking for wisdom.
Yeah, and going to church and meeting other people
that's
like
what he
you.
said.
What did you say? I
That's
think
worshipping and praying.
no, worshipping. You can worship in your own house. You pray in your own house. You've also got to add that. Okay. So yeah, fellowshipping is what you probably meant. Yes. What is your purpose? Again, just like I said, the reason why we always have to address what your purpose is you need to know right from an early age that God created you specifically for a reason. And you've got a purpose that is so important that only you can accomplish. And it's very important that early on you know what your purpose is. So you've got to begin to ask God as you're praying, open my eyes, Lord, let me see what the purpose is, what the reason is that you have created me, so that I can begin to grow in that area. so that I can begin to be more diligent in that area, so that I can begin to show myself strong in that area. Okay? Guess what?
God gave you a curious mind to explore and learn from His creation.
So that's part of your purpose, right? Your part of your purpose is the part that you actually have to, like Olumito said, you go and look for it. Do you remember the word that we did?
Wisdom.
It was wisdom, but there was something else. Do you remember in one of the last sessions that we had?
Philosophy.
No. It was over 2 weeks ago we did it. It was seek. What does it mean to seek?
Look.
You look. This is part of a curious mind. You are seeking, you are looking for it. So God gave you a curious mind. So a curious mind means you're always like, I wonder why that works that way. I wonder why ants are always in large groups. I wonder why that tree bends in the wind, but it never snaps. You know, you're asking all these questions, you're thinking, right? That's a curious mind. So instead of you being nosy and trying to be in everybody's business, use your mind to actually find answers to questions. You know, don't go about busybodying other people's business. Instead, you become wise. You begin to think, how is that sofa made? How is Yes, wise and wisdom. How is it that trees grow so tall?
When it grows and grows, you see the roots.
You don't see the roots. The roots go deep, 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 deep in the ground. You never see the roots. Is it?
Until something goes bigger and bigger
And then it
bigger.
dies. You only see it when it dies. And
Yes, you see the roots when it dies because you've got to pull the tree. Yes, or if the wind blows it out.
One time,
But the wind can only blow it out if that tree has a problem. So if that tree is sickly or has got
the wind
disease.
is very strong.
Yes, the wind is very strong, but trust me, the roots are stronger than the wind. Yes. Otherwise, all the trees would have been pulled out of the ground.
And then we'll have no trees.
Exactly.
And then that's why roots, you need roots to grow.
Yeah, you need to be rooted to grow.
I mean,
Very good.
I mean, to make it, and it has to be not sick for it to not die.
All right.
Now let's start.
So, discover, explore. What does it mean to explore?
So that
Find wisdom.
Good, yeah.
Go to countries. And
Not just countries,
and
Go to
find-
places.
find-
Or
not just places,
go to heaven.
not just heaven.
find
Bow
wisdom.
to Jesus.
Explore means to be so curious that you go and look at what you're curious about. So, for example, I could tell you, go and explore how they make Lego bricks, okay? And you could decide to be like, okay, I'm going to go to the Lego factory and see how Lego bricks are made. That's you exploring.
Lego bricks. What's a Lego
Yes.
brick?
Remember when we used to do some activities in school and it would tell you that you needed to pick some leaves, and we will go out and we will go around looking for leaves and looking for twigs. And do you remember? That was exploring, yeah? We're going out to look for something. We're going out to understand something. It's like, very good. It's like seeking. So it's really exploring. Very good. Yeah. So exploring means that you have a curiosity. You're curious about something. You're like, I wonder how this and this and this works. I wonder how that functions. And then you're now like, okay, I'm not just going to think about it. I'm actually going to go and check and see how it does work. That's part of exploring. And then it says appreciate. What does it mean to appreciate the wonders of the world? What does it mean to appreciate? What does it mean to appreciate?
Like be in awe, compliment it, like say, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. Blah, blah, blah.
Can I say,
Yes.
be happy with what you've given.
Both of you are absolutely correct. So you deserve some treats. Help yourself to some treats. So appreciate really means,
She didn't say you.
appreciate means that you are thankful, that you are grateful Yes, Olumito can have some as well. Appreciate means that you are thankful, you are grateful for everything that you see in the world. So you see a star in the sky and you're like, how beautiful are the stars? Look, they twinkle so brightly at night, right? That's you being appreciative. That's you appreciating what God has done. Okay, I'm going to ask you guys, because I don't think you were listening, what does it mean to appreciate?
To forgive.
Forgive.
I forgot. To
I just said it. I said it more than twice.
be happy with what you've got.
I didn't say that. I said be thankful and be grateful for what God has created. And I used the stars in the sky as an analogy. I said, for example, you see the stars in the sky and they twinkle so brightly at night. You're like, oh my Lord, look at it. They're like diamonds in the sky. How amazing is God? How wonderful are the works of his hands. So you look at all the things that God created and you're like, oh, how beautiful. You see a newborn baby, you're like, oh, how gorgeous. Look at this newborn baby. God is so amazing, right? So you be appreciative of everything that God has created, okay? So watch ants. So now when you see an ant, right, you're going to be watching them. They're always working, okay?
Watch
So
over them.
What if
you
they're
don't
in our
watch
house?
over them, you watch them.
What if they're in our house?
You watch them and learn from their actions.
What if they're in our house?
When we're in our house, we should watch them. Like,
It could be anywhere you can watch them. All right, now we're going to watch a video about some facts about ants, okay? And for those of you at home, go to the description and you can watch it too.
When you kill the ant, its cousins and its brothers and its sisters always come back to fight it.
They do come back
Pheromones.
because that's true, because if you leave the
ants,
body of the ants where you killed it, you
they
come back
wonder.
hours after,
They
you won't find
wonder
it.
where they are.
So what I do in that case, when I kill them, I make sure I dispose of the body.
But it's still left as pheromone.
Yeah, but they won't find the body.
Yeah, they don't need to find. It's not the body they're finding. The pheromone
They
is
find
leading
the
it to food. All right, guys. So that's fantastic. So those were amazing facts about ants. So now you're wiser about ants. Let's keep going. Okay. Now we're going to go on to finances, and we're going to learn from the ants example. Exactly. The ants have actually got a lot to teach us about money. But the important thing is, before we look at what ants are going to teach us about money and making money, what are the 4 things that you can do with money?
Spend, save, give, and invest.
Why do you say it so fast?
Go on, say it.
Save, spend, invest, and give.
Very good. Olumito, what are the 4 things that we know about money that money can be used for? Mhm.
Save,
Mhm.
give,
Mhm. And the biggest and the most important one.
invest.
Very good. Well done. You guys are on fire. Good. Okay. So the first important thing that we're going to learn from the ant, and this is very important for money. The ant is commended for its diligence. Do we know what it means to be diligent?
Yes. Good in what you do.
Yeah, it means simplistically, it means good at what you do, but not only good at what you do, what else does it
Try
mean?
your best.
Not just try your best.
You need to be great at what you do.
It doesn't just mean great at what you do. It means
Do
also
it.
you're disciplined. So
You have to
diligent
do
is an
it.
all-encompassing word
have to do
that
it
just
best.
doesn't mean you're good at it. It means that if I give you a project, I know that you're going to do the project so well, and I know you're going to do it on time, and I know you're going to do it at a good cost. So that's part of being diligent. And how do we know that the ant is diligent? What are some of the things that we've learned that tell us that the ant is diligent? What were some of the things that we've watched that tell us that the ant is diligent?
So,
So it's hardworking.
no.
Discipline.
Not just discipline.
They're always able to communicate with each other whenever they go out.
No, that's not the diligent part.
What is it then?
It does everything in summer, preparing for winter. That is diligent.
I never said that.
I said what examples from the videos we watch.
There's another one. That as soon as the ant is born, it starts doing what it's supposed to do. Whether or not it's a soldier ant or a worker ant or a drone.
The important thing is the diligence about the ant is that it starts working in summer, preparing for winter. It doesn't wait till the end of summer and says, oh, and it wakes up and it's like, oh my gosh, winter's here, or winter's approaching. The minute summer comes, it's like, look, this is the best time for us to do what we need to do because winter's coming. So in terms of you guys, when you're young, being young is the best time to explore, is the best time to work hard, because when you get old, your body can't do the same things that you can do when you're young. Your mind can't do the same things that you can do when you're young. And then you have children, right? So the amount of things that you do are restricted because you've got children that you have to look after. So say, for example, you're 22 years old and you decide that, oh, you want to travel to Asia and just explore. If you're 22, you can do that because it's just you. You haven't got children. You haven't got any commitment. You can do those things because it's just you. But the minute you become a father, the minute you get married, you've got all these responsibilities. You can't just do things like you would do if you were single by yourself. You've got other people that you have to make sure that they're okay. Okay? So in terms of the comparison with the ant, it's doing things in the right time. Okay? So the ant is commended for its diligence because the minute summer hits, the ant is already working. Nobody needs to come and tell it and be like, oh, and you've got to go and get food today. Oh, and you've got to fix the house today. Oh, and you've got to build another room today. It just does it because it knows it has to do it, okay? It's able to do the right thing at the right time.
It knows without telling.
Very true. Ants are responsible and self-disciplined. What does it mean to be responsible?
To take care of
To
the
lead.
thing.
Very good. To take care of things. Very good. That's being responsible.
And do I get a fee?
Yes. To take care.
What about me?
What did you say?
To take care of the things. I just don't leave it anywhere.
Okay.
You want to leave it?
Okay. Very good. You can
And
get something.
self-discipline means that
I've
you
not
don't-
said anything about
Yes, you
self-discipline.
did. You said
No, I said, what does it mean to be responsible first? But I'm going to ask you now what it means to be self-disciplined. So, very good, guys. I'm glad you understand what it means to be responsible. What does it mean to be self-disciplined? Let me see you go ahead.
To be able to do stuff and then to do stuff without being told, and also you have stuff set in places that you know when to do that stuff.
Okay, you start with the small things, just doing what you know you're supposed to be doing without being prodded to do it, without being prompted to do it. Yes,
And without anybody telling you
exactly.
what to do.
So self-discipline is you doing the right thing at the right time. Okay,
Not doing it at the time you want to do it.
doing it at the right time.
Because if you don't do it at the right time, you might
Your teacher.
you might want to do it now, and then it might be too late, and it might be your time to play, but you won't be able to play, so you have to do it in the time you're going to play.
Very
So you
true.
have to do it at the right time.
Very good.
You won't get to play.
Very
Do
good.
The things you want to do.
Very
outside.
good. Very good. Okay. So here we see that ants store food to prepare for difficult times. Why is this important when it comes to finances? So everything that we're talking about, you know, we're also talking about in terms of finances. Why is it important to store food to prepare for difficult times? And can you give me any examples of the Bible where they stored food for difficult times?
And Joseph.
Very good. Joseph, he stored food in Egypt.
Yeah, no.
Very
I can
good.
speak for that.
So, no.
No.
So, why is it important to store food to prepare for difficult times?
Because if you don't do it right now, and you don't do it in the summer, and then it's winter, and then it's winter, and then you have no food, and then you'll be upset that you didn't get any food, and when you go up, you might die because you didn't get any food,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna be starving, so hungry, and you wouldn't be able to eat.
True. Ants are proactive and very hardworking. What does proactive mean? What does it mean to be proactive?
It means like you're
Proactive means that you don't need anybody to tell you.
Or
You just go about, like it's just like, okay, you know that you've got maths homework to do,
you know when it's
and you just get up and you're like,
You know when
okay,
it's time-
I'm gonna do my
you know when
homework
it's
now.
time-
You don't need anybody coming in telling you, oh, Makin, your homework time. You know, proactive means you don't need any reminders. You're just on it. You just know it has to be done, and you go about and you do it.
Like you don't need an aunt from another home to tell you to get ready to do hard work. You'll know when it's time to get up from sleeping and get ready to start working.
Very
Or
good.
start fixing your house.
Very
Or
good.
start collecting food.
Very good. Very good. One of the most important things that we got from that passage is this, and this I want you to pay attention and listen very carefully. Laziness leads to poverty. Laziness leads to poverty.
What's poverty?
Poverty means you're poor, you have no money, you're going to be sleeping on the streets, you're just not going to have any food, you can't do anything, be wandering around the streets. So you've got to be hardworking, you've got to be proactive, you've got to be diligent, you've got to be doing everything at the right time. Okay?
Like the ants do it.
Exactly.
And like we do it in school.
Yes. So laziness leads to poverty.
What is poverty?
I've just
Being
told you,
poor.
poverty is being poor.
Oh, I forgot.
Poverty is being without. So now we're going to watch another video about ants at work. So for those of you watching online, again, the link is in the description. So you can watch the video there as well. What did you learn from that video?
that those ants, they like to eat a lot, and I think they're more sick than other ants because these ants, they have an acid, so that when they get to their prey or something that's standing in the way of where they want to go, as soon as it melts into the muscle and the flesh and the tendons, it creates a liquid and the ants just devour it.
And also
Yeah, let me tell.
ants eat a lot of things and they bring it to their home on the home. They bring it to their home and they gather some food. It said to take them home and
So quiz. Question 6. Complete the verse. Ants have no ruler or overseer, but they A. Dance all day long. B. Prepare food in summer. C. Watch movies together. Okay, 7. What should we do to be wise like the ants? A. Watch cartoons all day. B. Observe and learn from God's creation. C. Sleep all the time. Question 8. What do ants do to prepare for the future? A. They save food for difficult times. B. They dance for fun. C. They play hide and seek. Question 9. According to Proverbs 6:6-9, How does the lazy one behave? A. Working hard and being responsible. B. Making lots of friends. C. Lying down and being lazy. Question 10. What can we learn from Proverbs 6:6-9? A. To be as wise as the ants and work diligently. B. To ignore God's creation. C. To be careless and lazy. All right, are you guys ready for the answers? All right, let's go to the answers. Swap around, swap. There are the answers, guys. You done? Very good, guys. Very good. Well done, guys. So that's really good. Okay. The diagram that you can see on the screen is a diagram of where ants live. And as you can you see all these are, well, these are where the ants will probably stay. So when you're looking, so this part here is the top of the soil, right? So sometimes when you're looking down, you might just see a little hole in the sand. But when you dig and look inside that hole, then you'll see all these little holes. All these little holes are areas where the ants live, and sometimes they sleep in all these areas. So this is what they're building, and it's usually a very massive, because remember, there are thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of ants, and they've all got somewhere to stay. So they've all got to work together to build all these little holes in the soil so that they can keep warm, because deep in the soil it can get a bit cold.
Can't eat them.
Yes,
Other creatures.
yes.
But that's what they
And then they also store their food in all these places as well. So it's quite amazing when you see an anthill
So that means they
and
can
what
only
goes
take
on.
a little bit by little bit and put it inside.
Exactly, and that's why you see them with just a little bit at a time.
They don't just take a lot each, because if they take a lot, then they're gonna take a long time splitting it up and then putting it in their hole, and then it'll take a long time for them to get food.
Right, so just as we saw the home of the ants, we're gonna see the first TV network in Africa, and it was built in 3 months.
Baby one.
It was built in 3
The
months.
first TV network. So the
First TV
like
network, yeah, in Africa. It was built in just 3 months, an impressive 3 months. And this just shows that when you put your heart to anything, there's nothing that you cannot achieve. So for those of you watching online, check the links in the description and you would be able to watch the same video. So guys, you can see that even though the images weren't very clear, that was pretty historic. So Nigeria,
I didn't want to say.
Not the first
I
one in
didn't want-
Africa, not the world.
I didn't want to.
no,
say,
Africa, but before
I didn't
Ireland,
want to say that
before
I-
several European countries, because
Sorry.
TV was first created, I think, in 1936 in America. I think America probably created the first one. But Nigeria, I think Nigeria was probably number 5, or I can't remember. But it was impressive. The most impressive part was that it was built in 3 months. Now that takes a lot of planning. That takes a lot of hard work. Everybody coming together and being like, yes, we're going to do
That
this.
makes you
And they
feel
did it.
tired of doing that.
Not really, not that you'd be tired of doing that. But I just wanted to show you guys that if you put your heart to anything, there's nothing that you cannot achieve, okay? So conclusion,
God is the creator.
God is who?
The
creator.
And because God is the creator, he owns everything. He owns everyone.
Even all his money.
Yes, he owns everything and everyone that's in this planet and, you know, in space, in the universe. Everything belongs to God. God is the creator. God is the grand designer. God is the intelligent designer. Yes, okay?
So what are you doing?
Remember, God created you out of love, okay? He created you out of what?
Love.
And what does it mean to love?
To love others. To love others. And some people love others.
Very good. Very, very good.
Some people love God.
Very good.
Some people love God.
Very good, guys. And you must learn from the ant's example, okay? What can you learn from the ant? What have you learnt about the ant?
But you should try your best, but you should do it at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
And you shouldn't be
You
late.
should be hard.
Very good. Have something, Olumaki. That was exceptional. Exceptional. Let me see. Go on. What were you going to say? What can you learn from the ant?
Say, always be hardworking, always be diligent in what you do,
Mm-hmm.
and make sure that you're self-disciplined so that everything you want to do, you've done, so that in the end you can always like have fun and stuff.
Very good. You can have something as well. Olumita, what can you learn from the ant?
Always do something at the right time when God asks you to do it. Don't give up what you're doing.
Very
Listen
good.
to God.
Very good. You can have something
Try
too.
your best always.
Very good. I like the part that you said don't quit. Don't give up. Keep going. Well done.
And I said,
That was
try
very
your
good.
best.
Yes. And then don't be lazy. Work hard. Don't be lazy. Work hard.
That's what I said. Don't be lazy. Work hard.
Yes, don't be lazy.
Don't be sleeping in your bed forever and not do things hard work, because everyone gets some food, so you won't be asking for food if you don't do hard work.
Very good.
Laziness attributes to poverty.
Yes. Laziness leads to poverty.
So you have to get food yourself.
Very good. Very good, guys. And that's it. And that's the end of Saturday school. So well done. Give yourself a round of applause.